Hello, and welcome to this 15th episode of 5 Minutes with NYIke. I am Isaac Sacolick, or NYIke on Twitter. I'm so happy that this is our 15th episode sharing insights on digital transformation, agile, DevOps, product management, and becoming data-driven. In this episode, I will be speaking about the Scrum Master role and responsibilities and sharing some insights on how to modernize that role for driving culture and an agile mindset. I first talked about roles and responsibilities in Agile in episode 11 of 5 Minutes with NYIke. And I talked about customers and end users, a brief role of the product owner and the team. The bulk of that episode was about the role of the technical lead. And I committed to you all that I would describe in a future episode of what the role of the Scrum Master is. Now, to do that, I want to take you back in history a little bit. I've been writing about the role of the Scrum Master for a number of years, and I do want to set the record straight about that role and about the responsibilities that they have in agile organizations and on Scrum teams. So I began writing about Agile a long time ago, and I dug up these two posts going back to all the way to 2008 and 9, where I first discussed the Scrum Master role on the blog. Now, these were written from a perspective of enterprises and organizations that were really new to Agile. They had program and project managers who weren't trained on anything around Scrum. Pretty much most of the people joining Agile and Scrum teams were new to the process, and the Scrum Master role and set of responsibilities was really about introducing the rituals, things like stand-ups and reviews and retrospectives, and really orienting the team in terms of how they were working around committing and getting things done at the end of the sprint. When I wrote Driving Digital, I wrote it from the perspective of organizations that were looking to really transform. And if you look back in my history, I mostly have done this in medium-sized organizations that were already feeling the pains of being disruptive. Some Scrum Masters and Agile leaders have called out this statement where I said you can practice Scrum without a Scrum Master, and I've done that from the perspective of organizations that had to run Agile in a very lean way. And so yes, we did not have Scrum Masters then. We had Scrum Master responsibilities that we assigned to different people across the team. And in chapter 2 of the book, I talk all about Agile and roles and responsibilities, the role of the tech lead and the role of the Scrum Master, and other roles that are instrumental to an Agile process. I added to that in a couple of articles for InfoWorld, going back again to 2017, where I share a lot more information around the specifics of the Scrum Master role. But today, I want to share with you 12 key responsibilities around this role. And so you can decide for yourself, is it a role? Is it responsibilities? Do I need one person doing it for one team, for multiple teams? Or do I need to assign these responsibilities to different people on the Agile team? So now let's discuss 12 modern responsibilities for the Scrum Master and let you decide what makes sense for your team and your organization around whether it's a responsibilities that are assigned or a role. Here are the 12 that I focus on. I can't read them all off in this episode, but I'm going to share with you some insights on a few of them. First and foremost, it's around developing a shared understanding across the team. When you have a team, multiple teams, you have product owners and tech leads, who is truly responsible to make sure that everybody understands the objective and the vision, where you can make business impact, who the customers are, what you're trying to do in a release, and what you're trying to accomplish in the sprint. Okay, so a lot of different personalities on a team, and I really like somebody responsible to say, yes, I think there's a shared understanding here. Second, a very important part of STAR CIO Agile planning is the planning, continuous planning parts, and the estimating parts. And so much of what we can do to align our product owners with their vision, with our technologists and our architecture teams and our DevOps teams in terms of addressing technical debt and building roadmaps really comes down to how well the teams are planning their backlog and how accurate they are looking into making their estimates. So I hold a Scrum Master role and set of responsibilities to make sure that there's honesty in that process. And then lastly, we talk about sprints and releases, but I look at the big picture for organizations that are trying to do agile. And are my teams happy? Are they productive? When there's new team members, do they understand the process that's being done in your organization? Because we all come in with preconceived notions of what Scrum is and what tools we use. And so a Scrum Master really is strong about making sure the teams are working well together and to handle situations where there's new teammates and new team members. Now, if you want to learn more about the other 12 responsibilities, please visit that URL, starcio.com/5NYIke/EP15. This will get you access to my newsletter, and I will be following up this episode with a white paper really outlining more details around these 12 responsibilities. So I hope you will visit, sign up for the newsletter. I will get you that white paper when it's available. And please also subscribe to our channel here at 5 Minutes with NYIke. Thanks for watching this episode, and I look forward to speaking to you again in a couple of weeks.